Okay, I know I used a provocative title, but I'm just gonna tell you all straight out like why a lot of preppers will die. Fact of the matter is that they do. I see a lot of people doing a lot of stupid shit like collecting 10 or 20 rifles and only having one magazine and a very limited amount of ammunition for each and every one of those guns. And it's like you can only use one rifle at a time. One. I know some of you, and at most two. And even that is really absurd, ridiculous, and impractical. But I mean, come on. That usually only happens in video games, and a few stupid movies. But anyway, that's just really stupid because you should be collecting ammunition and magazines and training. Practice. Practice loading and unloading your rifle. Practice marksmanship and things like that. And there's also the people that want to spend, a whole bunch of money on, fancy toys, whiz-bang toys for whatever rifle they have, all the while not really doing any training. And I'm like, training is way more important than, cool whiz-bang stuff. Don't be a gear queer. It is much better to be it's way better to be a Delta operator, a DevGru guy, or a SAS man with a SKS than it is to be a gangbanger or some idiot with a custom-made sniper rifle like in Remington 700 or whatever. National Match, whatever you want to put on it. But anyway, that brings us to another point. A lot of people want to spend money on these fancy handguns, pistols, whatever you want to call them. Spend $1,000 on a pistol, just like that. And you're going to get killed by some bozo with a Mosin Nagant or an SKS or just some really cheap rifle who's going to shoot you from outside of pistol range. And that brings me to the next point. A lot of people spend too much time on guns and things like that, and not enough time on other things. There are a ton of things that will become relevant in SHTF, and some of these things can kill you before you even get a shot off. Bad water. Learn how to purify water. Contrary to popular belief, boiling the water will not work. It may get rid of all the bacteria, but it will not get rid of all the chemicals and shit that they dump into water. So learn how to make a water purifier. Go on homemade water purifier. Go on YouTube. It's not that difficult, and you will see. Another thing is, don't shake hands in SHTF. It's a great way to get sick. You'll be exerting yourself a lot in SHTF, and a simple cold can not only really debilitate you and hamper your performance and your morale, but it could turn into pneumonia, and you could die because you'll be pushing yourself really hard. And the second thing is being out of shape. A lot of people are fat. And, people say, oh, you're fat shaming. Well, I don't give a shit. Do I really look like someone who gives a fuck what politically correct society thinks? No. Anyway, it's like these people are just really out of shape and that they, work on getting in shape. I mean, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Just remember that. Ease into it. Trust me. Anyway, another thing that people don't do a lot is they will stockpile a shitload of food, and it means like, how much food do you have? 3 months worth? 6 months? A year? 5 years? 10 years? Well, even the biggest food stockpile will run out, or it may go bad. And then what are you going to tell your family? Well, I only wanted to survive, a year or whatever after everybody else. Or are you going to keep surviving? You learn to forage, learn to garden, learn to farm, that sort of thing. Keep surviving. Learn to sustain yourself indefinitely without any assistance from the government and or society as a whole. In any case, it's like Masashi said, respect the gods, but don't depend on them. And in any case, there's just so much stuff going to go on. I mean, it's like people neglect water. As I said before, learn to make a water purifier. It's not that difficult. And there's just so much stuff here, people. I mean, disease is going to get a lot of people. Bad water is going to get a lot of people. Just so many things are going to get people. And they're not all crazy things. I mean, people are going to be out of shape and all that stuff. And you got to work on, another thing you got to work on is mental toughness. Because, I mean, remember the rule of threes. Like, you can last for 3 minutes without oxygen, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. But I heard somebody say you can only last 3 seconds without hope. Keep maintaining your hope. Build your mind. Make it strong. Because if you go haywire, you're probably going to have a gun around it. Having a gun makes suicide so convenient, people. And, I mean, you don't have to think about it. Click. Boom. Voila, you're done. I mean, it's not like hanging, which is a pretty effective suicide method. I mean, you got to really think about it. It's like, are you sure you want to do this? And if so, you just jump and your neck breaks and you're done. In any case, there is just, people neglect training. They buy all this stuff that they really don't know how to use. I heard somewhere that 20% of Americans don't know how to boil water. Huh? Boiling water? I mean, come on! All you gotta do is put the water in a pot, stick the said pot on a stove or over a fire, and it starts boiling. And I'm like, my God, you know what I mean? And don't be surprised. And it's like I heard it somewhere else that the same source said that 20% of Americans didn't know how to use a can opener. I mean, don't be embarrassed. Learn these things. Remember, it may be embarrassing now, but it's better to be embarrassed now than dead then. Someone told me that embarrassment in training prevents deaths in combat. You know what I mean? So you get embarrassed and you don't do it again, and that saves a life. Thank God. Anyway, another thing people don't consider is that just, not having a plan is a plan to fail. Where are you going to bug out to? And don't try to lone wolf it. I know there are some of you who are just surrounded by liabilities, but if you're alone, you're going to be fucking vulnerable. And even if you are a Navy SEAL or a Delta operator or what have you, with a whole bunch of combat experience, you're not going to be able to do much on your own against an army of psychos. But anyway, as I said before, try to find somebody. Go on, try to join a prepper network or something like that. You're going to need support. We all do. Everybody needs somebody. Just remember that little truism. Anyway, I hope I've helped you out, and I hope I've provoked a few thoughts in you to try and work on your blind spots. I know I have blind spots, and some of them are known, some of them are unknown. There are known unknowns, and then there are unknown unknowns, to quote the Boondocks. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Peace out for now.